A mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard continues.
Will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of...
In a stunning turn of events, Mayor Tiffany Henyard finds herself at the epicenter of chaos and controversy, with many declaring it the end of her political career. Once celebrated as Dalton's youngest and first female mayor, Henyard's tenure has taken a dramatic nosedive amid a growing cloud of scandals. Federal investigations loom large, lawsuits pile up, and the community, frustrated with her leadership, is finally speaking out. Henyard was initially viewed as a rising star, a beacon of hope for Dalton's struggling residents. However, instead of ushering in positive change, her time in office has been marred by allegations of financial mismanagement, corruption, and neglect. From lavish, taxpayer-funded luxury trips to her absence during crucial government meetings, her actions, or lack thereof, have ignited outrage within the community. Despite the mounting pressure and criticism, Henyard seems indifferent to the consequences as the walls close in around her. What began as a promising career is unraveling at an alarming pace, and the drama continues to unfold, leaving residents anxious about the future of their town.
Was not at the hearing here today, neither was her attorney, and she was not made available for...
This week, Mayor Tiffany Henyard made headlines by skipping 2 major meetings in a single day, including an emergency session in Thornton Township focused on the ongoing insurance crisis. Without insurance, critical services like senior transportation, food assistance, and even essential government operations have ground to a halt. Residents are furious, with one local describing Henyard's absence as a slap in the face to everyone who relies on these vital services. Trustee Chris Gonzalez succinctly captured the sentiment, stating, "We're on a toll road of chaos right now, and unfortunately, the residents are the ones paying the toll." The situation took a bizarre twist when Henyard cited credible threats as the reason for her absence, claiming concerns for her safety. However, no evidence of these alleged threats has been presented. Senior trustee Jason House, one of Henyard's fiercest critics, dismissed her excuse, noting that the Board of Trustees had received no information about any credible threats. He emphasized that the meeting proceeded without her because the village's business could not be delayed any longer. Residents at the meeting were equally skeptical. One attendee pointedly asked, "If she's so scared, why hasn't she stepped down? She's clearly not doing the job she was elected to do." Public frustration with Mayor Tiffany Henyard has reached a breaking point in Dalton, where protests erupted outside a village board meeting she chose to skip. Residents demanded accountability, accusing her of embarrassing the village and calling for her resignation. Some likened her leadership to a chaotic reality show, describing it as more of a circus than a functioning government. The dissatisfaction isn't confined to Dalton. Residents in Thornton Township are also voicing their anger as Henyard attempts to reclaim a spot on the ballot for supervisor after being removed in a controversial Democratic caucus vote last month. The community's patience is wearing thin, and the call for change is growing louder.
About democracy, and it's about hypocrisy.
I really think it's very...
Criticism of Mayor Tiffany Henyard has intensified, with residents arguing that her absence from meetings is not just a political concern, but a legal one. As the mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township, Henyard is legally obligated to fulfill her public duties, and protesters are accusing her of neglecting these responsibilities. Some are even calling for her removal from office, viewing her repeated absences as a dereliction of duty. The demands for accountability are growing louder as frustration mounts. Critics claim that Henyard is deliberately avoiding these meetings to dodge tough questions from both trustees and the public. Her absence during the Thornton Township emergency session, for instance, left the board unable to address the ongoing insurance crisis, which continues to impact hundreds of residents. Trustee Chris Gonzalez didn't hold back, stating, "This isn't just politics anymore. This is about people's lives. We can't keep stalling while our seniors and families suffer." The frustration is palpable, and many believe Henyard's strategy of avoidance is a clear indication that she knows her days in office are numbered. As the community rallies for change, the pressure on Henyard to step up and fulfill her responsibilities only continues to escalate.
Again, no comment from Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Voters here will first head to the polls in February for the primary election, then the general mayoral election.
Supporters of Mayor Tiffany Henyard argue that the blame for the current turmoil doesn't rest solely on her shoulders. Many contend that the dysfunction in Dalton and Thornton Township stems from long-standing political rivalries and systemic issues that predate her tenure. "This isn't just about Tiffany," said one supporter outside a recent township meeting. "This is about a broken system that needs fixing. She's not perfect, but at least she's trying." However, even some of her former allies are beginning to distance themselves, citing her growing scandals and legal troubles as distractions that the community can no longer afford. The controversial Democratic caucus has become a major point of contention, with Henyard's supporters claiming they were locked out of the venue while State Senator Napoleon Harris and his allies secured a slate of candidates, including Harris himself, to replace her as supervisor. Henyard has called the process illegal and manipulative, filing multiple lawsuits to challenge the results. Critics, however, accuse her of hypocrisy, pointing to her own alleged tactics of voter suppression and power grabs in Dalton. Many residents are questioning her outrage, highlighting the inconsistency between her actions and her claims of injustice. As the community grapples with these issues, the debate over Henyard's leadership continues to intensify, revealing deep divisions and a call for accountability that resonates throughout the township.
Fights in Thornton Township and in Dalton. Except in one case, Tiffany Henyard wants on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her opponent.
The allegations of financial mismanagement against Mayor Tiffany Henyard don't stop there. She has been under federal investigation for months, with probes examining everything from unaccounted funds to lavish spending on trips and events. One particularly egregious example involves an $85,000 concert that attracted barely any attendees. Additionally, a staggering $40,000 was spent on Amazon purchases in a single day, with no clear justification provided. A limited audit of Dalton's finances, conducted by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, revealed a shocking $365 million deficit in the village's general fund. These revelations have only intensified scrutiny on Henyard's leadership and raised serious concerns among residents about the fiscal health of their community. As the investigation unfolds, the demand for accountability and transparency continues to grow, leaving many in Dalton anxious about the future.
Unanimous, the objector's petition has been withdrawn.
Can't do that. Can't contest everyone that comes.
With all the drama surrounding her, it's no surprise that Henyard's political allies are dropping like flies. Even her attorney, Max Solomon, recently attempted to withdraw from representing her in an eviction case involving back rent on a property she allegedly abandoned. This case, which has been dragging on since September, serves as yet another example of the chaos enveloping Henyard. Court documents reveal that she and a co-owner owe over $133,000 in rent and damages. While Solomon's motion to withdraw didn't specify his reasons, it's evident that representing Henyard at this point feels like trying to keep a sinking ship afloat. As the turmoil continues, the question of her viability as a leader looms larger, leaving many to wonder how much longer she can withstand the mounting pressure.
Manipulation. Nobody likes being manipulated. And when you get here, you know that's exactly what's happening.
With all the drama surrounding her, it's no surprise that Henyard's political allies are dropping like flies. Even her attorney, Max Solomon, recently attempted to withdraw from representing her in an eviction case involving back rent on a property she allegedly abandoned. This case, which has been dragging on since September, serves as yet another example of the chaos enveloping Henyard. Court documents reveal that she and a co-owner owe over $133,000 in rent and damages. While Solomon's motion to withdraw didn't specify his reasons, it's evident that representing Henyard at this point feels like trying to keep a sinking ship afloat. As the turmoil continues, the question of her viability as a leader looms larger, leaving many to wonder how much longer she can withstand the mounting pressure.
We need some action, somebody that's actually going to do their job. How about that? Somebody that's come in, work for the people, not themselves, and have pictures all over.
As the primary election approaches, Henyard is running out of options and allies. Her main opponent, Jason House, has been gaining momentum, positioning himself as the leader Dalton needs to restore order and trust. A lifelong resident of the village, House has made ethics reform and financial transparency the cornerstones of his campaign. "We need someone who's going to put the people first, not their own interests," he stated in a recent announcement. Judging by the crowd at the last board meeting, many residents seem to agree with his message. The growing support for House reflects a community eager for change and accountability, further intensifying the pressure on Henyard as she navigates the challenges ahead. With each passing day, the stakes rise, and the call for a new direction in Dalton becomes increasingly urgent.
One of the most recognizable faces that's been on the news lately. I'm talking about the mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard.
And all of so.
While House is focused on moving Dalton forward, Henyard seems stuck in the past, clinging to power as her support fades. Her repeated absences from meetings, refusal to address the insurance crisis, and ongoing legal battles have many questioning her endgame. Is she hoping to ride out the storm and salvage her career, or is she simply buying time before the inevitable? One thing is clear: the clock is ticking, and Henyard's days in office appear to be numbered. As the community rallies for change, the pressure mounts for her to take decisive action or risk being left behind in the wake of a shifting political landscape.
Just a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Wow.
Let's talk about the title of this, because it's called Super Mayor, and that is what Tiffany Henyard calls her.
The fan reactions to Henyard's downfall have been brutally honest. One commenter captured the general sentiment, stating, "She had the golden opportunity to do something amazing in Dalton as a young Black woman, yet she chose to throw it all away because her ego got in the way. Disgraceful." Another pointed to a recent scandal involving alleged misconduct by a trustee during a Vegas trip, suggesting, "I believe she missed those meetings because the night before, audio and FaceTime of Trustee Holmes bragging about his shameful activities leaked. She's dodging the fallout." As the drama continues to unfold, residents are left to pick up the pieces of a government in disarray. Thornton Township's insurance crisis remains unresolved, leaving vulnerable populations without essential services. Dalton's finances are in tatters, with no clear plan to address the massive deficit. With Henyard refusing to step down, the ETE road to recovery looks long and uncertain. However, there is hope. As one resident put it during a protest, "We've been through tough times before, and we'll get through this too. But first, we need to clean house." With the primary election just weeks away, the question remains, will Tiffany Henyard finally face the consequences of her actions, or will she find a way to cling to power? Who has what it takes to lead Dalton and Thornton Township into a brighter future? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this unfolding saga. Stay tuned, because if there's one thing we've learned about Tiffany Henyard, it's that the drama is far from over.